Hello students, I am Sachin Prakash and I teach and mentor students in chemistry for IIT I believe that the real confidence which is required to crack this IIT exam will come only when you are confident in tackling good problems. And that clarity and understanding of concepts will only develop when you are really comfortable in handling these problems. So this video contains the paper discussion which I have conducted in my uh, classes online. Okay, and a lot of good doubts are there which I have discussed here. It will be helping you people in understanding, developing an understanding in how to approach and tackle good problems. Okay, and if you like this, if you found this paper discussion video to be useful and interesting, you can, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, which will surely, motivate me to add some more useful videos of this type. Okay, because ultimately it's this is just an effort, honest effort, small honest effort from my side to help the student, uh, help my students as well as other students also in their ITJ preparation. So let us begin with this paper discussion. Okay.
So now we are live. Okay, so today we are going to discuss UTM 7. This is the paper in front of you. Okay, so it is a mains paper. So 20 questions should be single correct. And then 5 questions at the last are numerical value. Okay, with rounding off to second decimal place. Okay, now you see this whole UTM is based on the 3 chapters: alkaline earth metals, group 13, which is the boron family, and group 14, which is the carbon family. Okay. Now, let us start the paper discussion, and as usual, I always start the paper discussion from the last. So, last 5 questions. Okay, now is your time to start it. So, 71 to 75. If you have any doubts, we can discuss. 71 to 75.
Sir,
Yes.
anthracite is not the purest form, no, sir.
Yeah. Answer is 6, not 7.
Oh, oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, not that one, sir. Coke is impure form means.
This coke is not pure.
Yes, sir.
If fullerene is the
Oh,
only
nothing,
pure,
sir.
everything else is impure. Okay. So 72 is not a doubt. 71, 73, 74, 75. Any doubts
73rd H3BO3 aqueous, you should consider sp3 or oxygen.
for oxygen?
But they have given in question central atoms.
Oxygen is also a central atom.
Boron will consider boron also
We
general.
can consider boron. Actually, even if you're talking H3BO3 aqueous, okay, what is happening is that in aqueous solution, it will be forming minus plus H plus. So this is having boron in sp3. Okay. Are you getting a point? That is why they are not considering H2CO3, because there it is not written as aqueous. Are you
Yes, sir.
getting a point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other than that, although it is not a very good, question to begin with in the first place, but this is a possible reason why they have included this in the answers. Okay. I would not have considered this, but I think in the answer they are keeping it. So it's like that. 74, 75, 73rd.
If
Which one do you want? I have ticked all the things.
Yes, sir.
Is there any doubt in any of the ticked ones? Like you see, in case of zeolites, you have silicates as well as aluminates. Both will be having sp3 hybridization. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 73 is
Sir,
done.
75.
75. Yeah, high alumina cement should contain alumina, not AlOH thrice. It's aluminum hydroxide given,
Yes, sir.
not aluminum. That's right. Other things are natural. BOH or orthoboric acid is used in making borosilicate glasses, which are hard, and that is why have a very good transparency levels, and they're scratch resistant also. So they are used in making optical glasses as well as transparent test tubes, which you have seen. So you must have seen a company named Borocel. Okay, so they have borrowed that name from borosilicates only. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
So they have very high transparency value as well as they are quite strong and hard. So they won't undergo scratches that easily. So 70, up to 75, there is no doubt. 71,
Sir, once show 71.
71.
yeah.
Sir, in 71, NaHCO3 will have hydrogen bonding, no, sir?
Yeah, but it is asking polymeric chains. When you're talking polymeric chains, okay, we are considering covalent bonds only. See, due to hydrogen bonding, NaCO3 solubility is reduced in water. But we don't say that it forms polymeric chains. Are you getting a point? Because polymeric chains will be having what you call as covalent bonds. Are you getting a point? Proper covalent bonds. But like they should have considered NaCO3 also, or they shouldn't have given it in the first place.
Sir, in the solutions he gave NaHCO3, but he did not give AlCl3.
AlCl3 will form a dimer actually, and in solid state it will form polymer also.
Yes. Sir, he did not mention the state also, sir. Like, which one should we
But then answer
consider?
should be 4, no,
We
sir?
can,
Then the
even
answer
if
should be
one
four.
possibility is there, we can consider no,
Yeah,
sir.
then if they are considering NaCO3 also, then the answer should be 4.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
how they'll consider NaHCO3, sir?
Means I have told you people know that in the solutions, NaCO3 sodium plus is a small ion. So there is a tendency of something like this to happen.
Sir, they did not mention in aqueousness.
Yeah?
They did not mention in aqueousness.
Means we are assuming that they are talking at aqueous only.
Like in some questions, you have mentioned if aqueous means aqueous. So how can we consider that option?
Yes, sir.
That is also.
Sir, then in that case, even AlCl3, there are two possibilities, no, sir. We're just taking any one of the possibilities, no, sir.
No, see, only in
Then in
aqueous.
one case, it is forming, no, sir, polymeric chains. Then we can consider NaHCO3 also.
Yes, sir.
Answer should be 4 actually. I will put answer to be 4. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So numerical value questions are done. 65 to 70, 66 to 70.
So 69.
Yeah. I have given the reaction between carbon and concentrated nitric acid. Do you remember it?
Yes, sir, but third one.
No, with acetic acid nothing happens. See, nitric acid reaction takes place because nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. Others are only acids, so carbon won't react. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 68 is straightforward. 65, 66, 67.
65.
Yeah, in 65, Very pure silicon. I don't understand what their logic they have given. They haven't given anything, actually. SiO2 electrolysis in
Sir,
SiF4. Yeah?
it should be reducing impure silicon.
Uh,
Sir, and also is directly magnesium used, or we use
No,
Grignard
no.
reagent, sir?
No, directly magnesium you can use. Basically, reaction would be like SiC4 plus Mg gives Si plus MgCO2. Okay, if you don't heat the mixture, then you'll be getting a pure silicon sample. If you heat the mixture, then you'll get Mg2Si. Most of this is a fat-based thing. Are you getting my point? Okay.
Sir, can you give the other reactions also, the other three? Means what happens?
Means, if you're decomposing K2SiF6, you'll be getting Kf plus SiF4. Okay. In this case, you'll be getting SiF4 plus K2. And electrolysis of SiO2 in presence of, you'll be getting Si plus O2 during electrolysis. Are you getting a point?
Sir, what happens to the F?
Huh?
What happens to fluorine?
Fluorine actually is recirculated. If you remember how we use Na3AlF6, okay, it gives AlF3. So what will happen is that SiO2, SiF4 will be giving ions. SiF4 is not that ionic in nature. I think electrolysis of SiO2 in SiF4. SiF4 will be giving like Si plus 4F minus. Silicon 4 plus ions are not formed actually. So SiF4, I have to look into this question. I'm not, it is not looking like SiF4 can form Si4 plus, because Si4 plus ions won't exist. Are you getting a point? So I am doubting whether the electrolysis can be done for SiO2. Okay.
That means that is wrong, no, sir. I mean, maybe wrong, no, sir.
Yeah, it's not correct. It cannot be the answer. Most probably. Getting a point? Because SiF4 is not ionic. Means it won't give Si4 plus and F minus. Getting a point? You can use calcium fluoride, but you cannot use SiF4. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
This reaction won't take place. Okay, 65 is done.
Sir,
Yeah.
65th one is first option, sir.
60?
5th,
Huh.
first option.
Yeah. You get Si plus MgCl2. Magnesium is an electropositive metal, so it will be acting as a reducing agent. Okay. Getting a point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 62 to 64,
So 64.
which option?
All options.
Okay, carbon dioxide behaves like a non-polar molecule because both resonating structures are equivalent, so their contributions will cancel out each other. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
2. Carbon dioxide is anhydride of unstable dibasic acid. Unstable dibasic acid C-O-OH whole twice, which is H2CO3. Actually, H2CO3 stable dibasic acid. It is, so this is actually a correct state. Okay. It is asking the incorrect one. So
Sir,
this is correct.
H2CO3 is unstable.
Yeah, H2CO3 does not exist in solid state. Are you getting a point?
Okay.
It only exists in solution phase. Third, carbon dioxide is linear because it requires user sp orbitals. Fourth is wrong because it's CO2, it is sp orbital. Is it clear? Yes or no?
So 1 second, could you explain fourth one?
In CO2, sp hybridized orbitals are used. In H2CO3, sp2 hybridized are used. Okay?
Yes, yes.
62 to 63. 60 to 63.
So 62.
Yeah. 62. Carbon family, other elements do not form p-pi bonds because atomic orbitals are too large and diffuse to undergo effective lateral overlap. I've told you compact orbitals will undergo strong overlap, so only second period elements will form p-pi bonds.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
remember this?
Yes,
I think we have discussed it 3 or 4 times. Every group we are discussing it. So it is the same reason. Is it clear?
yes, sir.
p-pi bonds are only found for second period elements. Okay. Now after that, 60, 61,
So 61.
61. Which one?
Option 2.
Option 2.
It is weak monobasic acid,
Yes, sir. But they asked in
Yes, sir.
Correct.
but it behaves like strong monobasic acid in presence of sugar, and this acid can be titrated against NaOH using phenolphthalein as indicator. That is correct. Sugar means it is a vicinal diol. Are you getting a point? Any sugar. You remember glucose structure? Anyone of you knows? Something like this. This is CHO, this is CH2, OH, OH, H, OH. So it is a vicinal diol. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
So it will increase the acidic nature of BOH whole thrice by removing the BOH whole 4 minus ions. So if it becomes a strong acid, then you can use, it can be titrated against NaOH using phenolphthalein as indicator. Because in weakly basic medium also it will change its color. Getting a point? Yes or no? You can use phenolphthalein as indicator if your acid is strong acid. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 60th.
Sir, in 60, magnesium hydride will polymerize, no, sir?
But magnesium chloride won't be polymerized. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Dikshita, sir.
Yeah, I'm very happy that you raised this point. Okay. Well, because, at least you're thinking that magnesium hydride was polymeric. So, yeah, this is correct. Okay. Magnesium hydride will have a tendency to go polymerization, but magnesium chloride will not form polymers. It will be an ionic compound. Are you getting my point? Magnesium hydride will have a covalent nature.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it clear? Okay. So 59, 58, 57. I think we have discussed this in group 2, 59.
No doubts.
Yeah, that is good. 55, 56.
55, sir.
Yeah, you see why it cannot be other oxides, right? That's the question. Yes or no? So the answer for this is statement number 3, that carbon will react with H2O to form CO plus H2. Both can burn. Okay, that won't happen in case of others. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
Si will not react with H2O to form, Si will react with H2O to form SiO2 and H2, but SiO2 is not a fuel. Getting a point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we can move forward. 55
Sir?
is, yeah.
Sir, in 57, that using aluminium is in the electric furnace, right? Like not in presence of acid, no, sir, if we are using aluminium.
Now, aluminum is in this step.
Oh, sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, then he did not mention anything, right? So it can be 104, right?
Generally, magnesium is a more electropositive metal than aluminum.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That is why. Okay. So we are tending to use highly electropositive metal. So we don't use aluminum in this case. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. I was just asking. I put option 4 only, sir.
Yeah, one cannot be used. That is the point. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Not that much electropositive. 55, 56 is done. 57, 58. I think these things we have discussed already. Although solubility of fluorides is not a uniform trend, I think I've told you before in the class. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Calcium fluoride is the least soluble fluoride. But both sides it increases. Down also it increases, up also increases. But I think they have taken this statement from one of the books, okay, which have not seen the trends or something like that. But anyways, if the solubility is increasing, there is a very standard explanation for that. That is, lattice energy decreases faster than hydration energy. Everyone is clear with this?
Yes, sir.
That is very good. Okay, so this brings us to 52 to 54.
Sir.
Yeah.
52.
Sir, in
Yeah,
54, what is the role of melting point?
In 54,
Yes, sir.
isolation of boron with very high purity is very difficult because high melting point of boron. See, if boron doesn't melt, then whatever impurities are there, okay, that will be trapped inside in the solid state, yes or not? Any chemical which you are using has to react with the inner impurity. Are you getting
Yes,
the
sir.
point? It won't react till boron is not melted. Because if it is inside, it won't be able to access those chemicals. Are you getting a point?
Sir, isolation means what, sir?
Isolation means, basically you are separating boron and impurities.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's it. So all four are correct.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, 52.
fourth and 1 second, could you explain that? 54.
Fourth.
Yes, sir.
Means fourth is all of these. So,
51, sir.
huh?
54th, could you explain all the 3 options?
All the 3 options. Okay. Strong tendency of boron to, see, boron has a very high tendency to react with, non-metals like carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. And generally in metallurgy, you require higher temperatures and a reducing agent also. Are you getting a point? So in those cases, even with atmosphere which is containing nitrogen and oxygen, boron will have a tendency to react. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
This is the first point. Second point, I already told that in order to remove impurities, you have to melt boron. Otherwise, the solid impurities won't get out. So, but the melting point of boron is very high. At that high temperature, boron will melt, but at the same time, it will also react with oxygen and nitrogen also. And tremendous affinity of liquid boron because it is at a very high temperature to react with air. Are you getting a point? Okay. 52, 53.
Sir, 52.
52, sir.
Yeah, in 52, I think someone sent me a snapshot. High pressure was not written there.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
getting a
Yes,
point?
sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir. High pressure was not there.
yeah. So this is going for correction or key change. Getting a point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
51 is not a doubt.
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
So with this UTM is done. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in 51, why is it related to option 2? I mean, like, why is option 2?
Large value of atomization enthalpy of beryllium metal. See, beryllium is having very high ionization, heat of sublimation. So it is saying that beryllium is having less electronegative reduction potential compared to alkaline earth metals. Okay. So you see, basically, when beryllium is acting as a reducing agent, first beryllium solid has to go to beryllium gas. And then beryllium gas has to, go to beryllium 2 plus 2 electrons. And then it has to undergo Be2 plus aqueous. So this is delta H sublimation, that is ionization energy, and that is hydration energy. Okay, now you see these two are positive values. You have to give energy to, and this is negative. Now this value is very high for beryllium. So even though it's having very high hydration energy, it is not able to compensate for these two values. Are you getting a point? Yes or no? So
Yes.
both
Yes, sir.
ionization energy as well as, because here you have to use IE1 plus IE2. Okay, so that value
Yes,
is,
sir. Understood.
okay, that is the reason. Smaller
Sir,
hydration
and
is not a region,
okay,
it is
sir.
having high hydration energy, definitely more than Li plus. But the thing is that it is not sufficient to compensate for the very high values of ionization energies as well as sublimation energy. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sir, in 52, like, you suggested 1 and 2, option 1 and 2.
yeah, actually I will mention that, 1 and 2 both I will mention because high pressure was not written in the online version of the
Yeah, okay,
question.
sir.
That is what I am going to write. Okay. If they accept it is very good, but okay. So I think our paper discussion is finished. Okay. So I'm stopping the recording. Okay. So now we are live. Okay. And this is the WTA7 paper. So it is a combined paper for alkaline earth metals, boron family and carbon family. Okay. So the section 1 consists of single correct choice type questions. Then section 2, which is multi-correct, and then section 3 is paragraphs. Okay. So paragraphs are generally single correct questions only. Okay. So let us start the paper discussion now. Okay. Question number 19. Okay. So in 19, it is given the formula of type of borates which has been shown below. Okay, so BO2 and minus. Okay, so that will be your metaborates. Okay, just let me refer to it once because borates are not there in the syllabus. Okay, I think in the book it is given borates like integrated. Yes, no. Have you seen? No. So it's actually it is not there in the syllabus. Silicates are there. Silicates we have discussed in details, but borates are not there in the syllabus. Okay, but yeah, I have given, but you see, like you see, I will discuss the question. Okay, first let me discuss the question first. Uh, See, the thing is that that way, if we start discussing, then the syllabus for the week will never finish. Okay, so you see in question number 19, first of all, borates. Okay, so you see, just like silicate, we write as, you know, Si O minus, O minus, O minus, and O minus. So we write it as what? What is the representation? Okay, representation is something like this. It is a triangle, right? And in triangle, you have a center, which is that of silicon atom. And then you have this, 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 and this. Okay, and then these are. So here the triangle represents a silicate ion, SiO4 4 minus. Are you getting a point? Okay, where the red dot represents the silicon atom and the circles are oxygen atoms. What is this will be representing oxygen atoms, plus there will be a atom, oxygen atom at the center, which we can see from the top view. Are you getting my point? This we have discussed. Now, similarly for that, for borates, we can write it like this. You see, borate is a planar atom. Boron is sp2 hybridized. So when you are writing a borate, okay, again, what we will do is that we will make a triangle. Are you getting a point? And then this triangle will be having a center, and that center will be boron. Are you getting a point? Then the oxygen atoms will be at the vertices. Since it is a sp2 hybridized, only 3 oxygen atoms will be connected to the center. Are you getting a point? So here, each triangle will be representing a borate unit. So you see this. Okay. Now since they have asked it, so I will explain the borates today only. Okay. But I have never seen any question coming in ITJ from this. Okay, but we should be, this is an opportunity for us to learn about borates. Okay, so this is borate. Okay, so first one is the orthoborates. Okay, so orthoborates will be having BO3 3 minus units. Okay, isolated borate units. Okay, no oxygen in common, no shared oxygen. Are you getting a point? Yes or no? So example, any borate will be example, you know, Na3BO3 Ca2 3BO3 whole twice, Mg3BO3 whole twice. Okay. These are all example of orthoborates. Just like orthosilicates, you have orthoborates. Are you getting a point? Yes or no? Okay. Next, second is pyroborates. So I think by analogy, you can tell me what should I do in pyroborates. Basically, it will be B2O5. Okay, so how do we draw it? We draw it like this. Yes or no? Okay, and then what I'm going to do is put oxygens at the vertices and then put boron at the center. So the shared oxygens will not carry a charge, unshared oxygens will carry a negative charge. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So pyroborates, what will be the formula? B2O5 4 minus. Okay. So here, just like in previous case, you are having what is oxygen to silicon ratio. Here you'll be having oxygen to boron ratio. That will be 3 in this case. In this case, it will be 2.5. Okay. So after that, next one is what? Next one is metaborates. Okay. Now always remember in metaborates, what will have that here only one shared oxygen is there. Per borate unit. See, each triangle represents a borate unit. Are you getting a point? So in metaborates, you have 2 shared oxygens per borate unit. Okay. You have 2 shared oxygens per borate units. Okay. So in this metaborates, you can have 2 types of metaborates. You can have chain. Okay. Chain means that you are having a linear chain of metaborates. Okay. So how will you draw chain borates? You take it like this. Okay. And this can keep going on in either direction. Chain metaborates, chain borates will be infinite in length. Are you getting a point? Yes or no? Now you see, with borate, there is one limitation that it will always be planar only. It cannot be 3-dimensional. Are you getting a point? Okay. So each of them represents a boron atom. Okay. So it is something like this. And there was actually no time in boron family to discuss these things. Okay. Silicon, it is officially there in NCERT also. So I discussed it in detail. But it is like that only. Okay. There is nothing in. So here you have 2 shared oxygen. In metaborates, always 2 shared oxygens will be there. And the general formula will be BO2 and whole n minus. Are you getting a point? Yes or no? Okay. So Acha, you can use the same formula. Number of shared boron, shared oxygen atoms is equal to total oxygens minus total charge. Okay, same formula is there. It is totally okay, and then you will be having what you call cyclic borates. Okay, so cyclic borates you can draw similar to cyclic silicates. Okay, so what we do is that we are going to take on each base there will be one silicate unit, borate unit. So if I am drawing borate units, okay, and then oxygen. And then just connect it. Are you getting a point? So this will be like B3, BO2 whole thrice 3 minus. Are you getting a point? Because per borate unit, only one negative charge is free. Are you getting a point? If two oxygen atoms are shared. Getting my point? Okay. And then you can also have sheet borates. So in sheet borates, all three oxygen atoms are shared. Are you getting a point? Okay, so these are the things. So this is example of metaborate. Are you getting a point? Orthoborate we have discussed. Okay, this much is required to do this question. 19 is done. 20th. 21st. 21st. Okay. On bypassing excess of CO2 in lime water, clear solution of calcium hydrogen carbonate. Calcium hydrogen carbonate is nothing but calcium bicarbonate. CaSO3 whole twice. Okay, is formed. Okay. Okay, so this is the final solution which you are getting after passing CO2 through some solution. Okay, now in this, if you are adding ammonia, NH4OH, then you see this is a base and bicarbonate is an acid. So what will be the reaction which is taking place? SCO3 minus plus NH4OH. You're getting NH4 plus CO3 2 minus plus H2. Are you getting a point? This CO3 2 minus along with Ca2 plus will form CaCO3. Are you getting a point? Yes or no? Okay. So some calcium hydroxide solution, if you are passing excess of CO2, will be giving this. Are you getting a point? That's it. So 21 is done. After that, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Sir?
Yes.
21 remaining options,
Why 22 or 21? 20. Okay. Let me first read the question. Calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. That is very good. Okay. Now, still the water in area where limestone deposits become hard because, okay, limestone dissolves in rainwater due to presence of CO2 in air. That is correct. Excess of CO2 and moisture is there, it will dissolve. Are you getting my point? Forming calcium bicarbonate. The moment it is soluble calcium bicarbonate, Ca2 plus in water, it will be hard. Set A option, limestone dissolves in rainwater due to acidic nature of rainwater. Limestone dissolves in rainwater due to acidic nature of rainwater. It's not that acidic enough in order to dissolve CaCO3. Are you getting a point? Rainwater is having a pH of something close to 6. Are you getting a point? So at that point, it won't react with CaCO3. CaCO3 reacts with strong acids like HCl or H2SO4, something like that. Getting a point? So A cannot be the answer. B is the answer. C, limestone dissolves in water due to reaction with other salts present in water. That is incorrect. And D, limestone dissolves in water due to pollution of sewage. That is totally incorrect. Okay, there is no chemistry in this. So only logical option is option B only. Okay, is it clear? Yes, no? Okay. Now after this, 22 to 25. Yeah, 22. Silane are more reactive because silane are having what you say as high electronegativity difference. Okay, there's a huge. Okay, so in this case, this delta minus and this is delta plus. And second thing, which is even more important, is the silicon is having vacant d orbital. So it will react with any Lewis acid base which is present. Okay. So more than the electronegativity difference, it is the Lewis acid presence of vacant d orbitals, which makes silane much more reactive. Okay. Because hydrocarbons have carbon, carbon do not have any vacant d orbitals. Are you getting a point? Yes, no. Okay, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, first 23. Which option in 23 you feel like explaining? All. Huh? All. Okay. See, the length of polymeric chain. Properties will be depending on the length of polymeric chain is correct. If solid is there, or resin form is there, this means it is having longer chains which are tightly connected to each other, so the movement is limited. Okay, when it is consisting of shorter chains, then the chains can flow or slide over each other, so that will be the case of liquid. Are you getting a point? Gel will be intermediate between them. Okay. Degree of polymerization and cross-linking. More is the cross-linking, more is the probability of solid form. A liquid form will have very less cross-linking. Are you getting a point? And degree of branching also, more is the branching, okay, more is the chance of solid film. Okay, so answer will be D. Okay. 24. Okay. CO2 and N2 are non-supporters of combustion. However, for putting out fires or to extinguish fires, CO2 is preferred over N2. Why? Okay, because CO2 doesn't burn, that is correct. N2 can burn at very high temperatures to give NO. Okay, forms non-combustible product with burning substances. Okay, so and C, it is denser than oxygen, and D, it is less reactive than oxygen. Actually, CO2 is not less reactive than oxygen, but considering combustion, CO2 will be as unreactive as nitrogen. Even nitrogen will be reactive with oxygen at very high temperatures. Okay, generally that is not observed. But denser than oxygen can be the reason, because most of the time when you are, nitrogen is a lighter gas than oxygen. Okay, or nitrogen is lighter than air also. So when you are spraying CO2 and you are spraying nitrogen, CO2 will be having a tendency to displace the air from bottom. Generally, the source of fire will be something on the floor only. Are you getting a point? Or any surface. So CO2 will displace the air, and it will cut the connection between air and the fire source. Are you getting a point? So that is the reason. That is the most non-combustible product. CO2 cannot burn actually, so it won't form any product. CO2 or carbon is already totally oxidized. Are you getting a point? It cannot be further oxidized. So formation of a non-combustible product is not an option. It does not react actually. Okay, so option is C only, because it displaces air, because being more heavier than air. Okay, 25. Okay, 26. I don't think 26 should be a doubt. Symmetrical. Yeah, which option? All. Yes, no. A, C, and D. I think if you are remembering, did you attend the class where I discussed the symmetrical cleavage of B2S6 or something like that? So I told you people that if it depends on two factors. First, electronegativity of the ligand atom, okay, or nucleophile, and second is steric factor. So if the donor atom is same, and say it is having very high degree of, the first attack will take place here, but second has to take place here only, because the same boron atom cannot handle two bulky groups. Getting a point? So in that case, symmetrical cleavage will take place. Nucleophile will first attack one of the boron, then the next attack is taken on the second boron atom. So you will get a non-ionic product in that case. Is it clear? Yes or no? This I have discussed very clearly in the class. Okay. If it is possible, you can go refer to the notes again. Okay. Option D. Lewis acid-base reaction takes place. See, boron is having a vacant orbital. Okay, and nitrogen is having a lone pair. So Lewis acid-base reaction is taking place. Okay. See, a bridge bond means that the orbital is still vacant only. Are you getting a point? But for the time being, the second boron atom is supporting the first one. Okay, and vice versa. Is it clear? Yes? Okay, hybridization of boron will remain same in the product. Okay, it will be what you say sp3 only. Okay. Now 27. Why not B? Because hydrated ion they are saying. So when you're talking hydrated, see, if you're only taking a B2 plus gaseous and Al3 plus gaseous, they have same size. But when you're talking hydrated ion, then you are also taking into account water molecules. Now beryllium will only form complex with coordination number 4. Aluminum can form a bigger 6-membered complex. So the size of hydrated ions will be different. Getting a point? Yeah, it depends on charge density. But you see, the moment you are talking about hydration, okay, in case of B2 plus and Al3 plus, actual complex formation starts taking place. Are you getting a point? So then when you're talking the hydrated ion size, then we're talking the hydrated B2 plus and hydrated Al3 plus. Okay, just because of difference in coordination number, Al3 plus is bigger in size. Okay. Are you clear? If it was only gaseous ions, then the answer would have been correct. Okay. Now, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, SRO reacts with TiO2. TiO2 is actually acidic in nature. Okay, and SRO is basic in nature. So it is from SrTiO3, strontium titanate. Are you getting a point? 20 B. Strontium oxide is basic in nature. TiO2 is acidic in nature. So you get a salt. Getting a point? B. Molten BeCl2 is not a good conductor because it's covalent. But the moment you add Cl minus, now you see everything is molten state. Cl minus will combine with BeCl2 to form BeCl4 minus. So then the whole thing will be an ion, which will be a good conductor of electricity. Are you getting a point? BeCl2 will not give B2 plus and 2 Cl minus. That doesn't take place. But BeCl2 can combine with Cl minus to give a BeCl4 minus complex ion. So that is how the reaction is taking place. Okay. Now after this, 29. Okay, diamonds last forever. This statement is valid only at room temperature. Okay. Because you see, you'll be wearing a diamond and you'll be caring about it only till you are surviving. Are you getting a point? So, yeah.
How can this option be right, sir? When it can convert into graphite, but of course at high temperature, but it's soluble.
It is saying that it cannot transform to more stable graphite form. Okay, at room temperature it cannot. The point is,
At some point of like if the temperature is at present.
yeah, but you see, if a jeweler is making an advertisement, he is only considering room temperature. He won't be considering a temperature where you won't exist, the person who is wearing the diamond. Are you getting a point? Suppose I talk about, like 2500 degrees centigrade, whether you will exist at 2500 degrees centigrade. No, you will be like, vapor and molecule, atoms, something like that. So that is what. So jeweler is, just using common sense, not chemistry in those cases. Okay, so I think all of them are good. Elevated temperature logic is also, what is wrong because jeweler's advertisement again it is at room temperature. It's not talking about CO2 at elevated temperature. Okay. 30th question. Okay, A. Calcium chloride is drying agent due to its hygroscopic nature. See, you can remove water by multiple ways. Either you absorb it, okay, or you absorb it, or you react with water. That way also you can remove water. Are you getting a point? These three are the methods. Now, calcium chloride is a drying agent because of hygroscopic character, means it absorbs moisture. Okay. Calcium hydrate is a drying agent because it reacts with water. So if it reacts with water, it will remove water. And calcium oxide is a drying agent because it combines with water and forms calcium hydroxide. So that way it is removing water. Okay. Gypsum can act as drying agent is wrong because it is already saturated with water. Okay. In case of gypsum, if it was POP, then it would have been correct. Are you getting a point? Yeah. Tell me. No, all the first three will be acting as drying agent.
In which case gypsum will be acting as drying agent.
Gypsum cannot react as a drying agent. That is what my point is. Plaster of Paris can act as a drying agent because it has a tendency to absorb water and then solidify to form gypsum. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After that, 31, 32.
Second, write the reaction
Of what? Tell me.
of 31st question. I mean all.
See, first case there is no reaction. Second case you can write the reaction. No? CH2 plus H. I think if you just think about it, you will be able to do it. Plus, minus, plus, minus.
That's 31st question.
Okay, 31st. Well, I have to read. Yeah, this reaction is something like this. The reaction is forms solution compound A. Okay, now you see I have told you that you get ammoniates. Okay, like this. Okay, if you heat it, okay, it will decompose to give Sr and H2 twice, which is strontium amide plus H2 plus 4 NH3. Are you getting a point? You can put 2 H2 here. So our gases B and C are NH3 and H2. Am gas crimson red flame, so it has to be strontium. If it is brick red, it will be calcium. Is it clear? Okay. Dilute solution of metal ammonia, metal in liquid ammonia is paramagnetic in nature. I think we have discussed this. Yes or no? Oh no, I didn't teach you people alkali metals, but I think you must be knowing that dilute solution is paramagnetic because of ammoniated electron. If it is concentrated, those electrons will be paired and it will become diamagnetic. I think you must be knowing this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, now the H2 is not a gas, no, sir.
No, these two are gases.
Sir, then gases are C and D, but they are B and C and they give NH3 and H2. That means
Okay. And so you're going to be with yeah, it is to be C and D. This is going for correction. Okay. It should be C and D. These are good. B is, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Or no, so they are talking about these two. Is it clear? No, it's solid. Yeah. Strontium amide. It's an ionic compound. 32. It is not combustible means that it doesn't react with oxygen. Okay, combustion means reaction with oxygen. CH4, both hydrogen, carbon and hydrogen will react to form stable compounds CO2 and H2O. But in CF4, only carbon can form CO2F. Fluorine will not react with oxygen to form a stable compound. Fluorine does react with oxygen to form OF2 and O2F2, but those are highly unstable compounds. Are you getting my point?
sir,
Yeah.
in option A, CH4, C and H will combine and give CO2 and H2, there is no oxygen.
No, combustion means that you are doing reaction with oxygen. Are you getting my
I
point?
mean that
See,
carbon and hydrogen combine with oxygen.
yeah, when you're writing like this, you're getting CO2 plus H2. But if you're doing it CF4, you'll be mainly getting CO2 plus F2 only. Okay, which is this is not highly stable. Okay, unstable. This is stable, but you see, the thing is that in this case, you're getting two stable products, you're only getting one stable product. So, you know, the reaction won't proceed. Is it clear?
So won't there be any reaction
Between oxygen and fluorine, that's what I told, that you see, oxygen and fluorine will react to form OF2, which is highly unstable. So it will again give a backward reaction only. So fluorine will be the main product. Are you getting a point? 30,
Sir,
yeah,
but there is a reaction between them. Like
there is a reaction between them, but it is not combustible. See, a reaction is there, but that reaction is not giving stable products. Then it will go back to the reactant phase now.
but in option we have given CF4, only carbon can combine the other, not combustion.
See, combustible means that, you know, there's a tendency to react very, you know, with oxygen. You know, there is a steady tendency to react with oxygen. That is not seen because of these three factors. Okay, although C can form CO2, but only formation of CO2 is not, you know, good enough to drive the reaction forward. So combustion is not observed. Are you getting a point? Okay. If two stable products are there, then the delta G, which is the gas-free energy for the reaction, that will be overwhelmingly negative. Are you getting a point? Yes, sir. Okay, so that's it. Now, after this, so this is clear. D cannot be the answer because it is just talking of solid, liquid, and gaseous state. That is not anyway concerned to the chemical behavior of the molecule. Okay, 33 and 34.
34B can be the answer.
It is asking not correct. ALFC is ionic because fluoride ion is very small in size.
But it exists as a dimer because it is ionic.
It does not exist as a dimer. It is saying.
Sir, even D option. 34.
I see. It is saying. It is asking which is not correct statement. B, C, and D are correct statements. Are you getting a point?
Sir, option D. AlCl3 will act as option D.
Option D. AlCl3 is not a conductor of electricity. That is correct because AlCl3 is covalent in nature. But aqueous AlCl3 is basically Al-H2O whole 6. I think we have discussed this point in the class also. That why BeCl2 is soluble, is soluble in water, even though BeCl2 is covalent. Because when you dissolve it in water, it forms a BeH2O whole 4 2 plus complex. So now it becomes ionic. Are you getting a point? Yes. Yeah, because of the formation of ions. In molten, it will not form ions. Means it is a good. Whenever you are getting ions, it will be a good conductor. Because you see, water is having very less amount of H plus and OH minus. Any ionic substance, if you put in water and it dissociates to give ions, it will drastically increase the conductivity of water. Are you getting a point? Yes or no? So you see, in B, C, and D both are correct statements actually. AlF3 does not exist.
What is the reason for it to not be exist as dimers? AlF3?
No, it exists as a ionic compound. No, it's a lattice, ionic lattice of Al3 plus and F minus. Are you getting a point? So AlCl3 exists as dimer as well as polymer. Okay, because it is having covalent character. But F minus is small in size, so there won't be any polarization and no covalent character will exist. Are you getting a point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
AlF3 is not a dimer. It does not exist as dimer, right?
No.
Sir, what is the required reason for that, sir?
For dimer.
For not existing as dimer.
If it is ionic, it cannot exist as a dimer. Dimer is a molecule. Are you getting a point? An ionic compound does not have the concept of molecules. I think we discussed it very early. And there is no such thing like an NaCl molecule. It's a lattice in which Na plus and Cl minus are arranged. Are you getting a point? So AlF3 is also a lattice in which Al3 plus and F minus ions are arranged. If you're talking about AlCl3, it exists in molecular form because AlCl3 has aluminum and chlorine in covalent bonds. Are you getting a point? Means the bonds are having a high degree of covalent character. Okay. So moving to 35, 36, I don't think there should be a doubt here. No doubts. Okay, so with this, the paper discussion is done for today. Okay. Yeah.
Is 31st a key correction?
Yeah. C cannot be the answer. Answer will be A and B only. Is it clear? I will give it as a key correction. Okay, so with this, we can proudly say that we have finished the first year in organic chemistry. UTA 7 has covered all the inorganic chemistry topics. Okay, so with this, I am stopping the recording. Okay.